Joe Hacks, and today we're going to be doing laboratory from Hack the Box. So this box is pretty actually kind of like medium-ish, but it says it's easy, and mainly because it covers lots of subjects um like how to Ruby and outdated software and patch management. So this is a really fun box because it has lots of components. So without wasting time, let's just get into it. So first, let's start with an nmap. So nmap tag as c, tag as v, tag on, and store it in the folder nmap. And I'm just gonna name it initial with the IP address of the box. The IP address of the box. I already ran this, so let's just see the results. And we see that there's 3 ports open. We have port 22 SSH, port 80 HTTP, and port 443 or SSL and HTTPS. But we need to look at this carefully because as you see in the port 80 section, it says that the HTTP title did not follow the redirect to laboratory.htb, and in port 443 we see the common name is laboratory.htb, but the subject alternative name is also get.laboratory.htb. So we know that there's 2 subdomains that we have to add: laboratory.htb and get.laboratory.htb. So we can just nano etc hosts can go all the way down, and 10.10.10.216, paste that, and get dot, and so we can just exit. So probably ping, so we can ping get. Now we can go actually enumerate on the website. So let's go into laboratory.htb. If I can spell that right. Problem loading. See, did I get that? So we see that there's a SSL certificate. This is basically because it's self-cert, a self-signed cert, and we just accept the risk. And we see that there's this website, very nice website, the laboratory, and we can go down. Basically, it's kind of like a company. Our services laboratory provides high quality security and services at a low price, identity management, secure development, cryptography services. We all know what crypto like rotating in the funds, red teaming. So basically has lots of stuff. So what do our clients say? So this could be our clients. So Dexter, the CEO of Laboratory, so that could be a possible username. DD, uncertain and anonymous, the hacking group. And responsible disclosure. Find a vulnerability in the website, you're lying. 100% secure. Can't hack us, so basically driver side, this is a secure website. And we can try check out get.laboratory. And we just accept this. And we see that there is get.laboratory. Basically, it's running GitLab. So because we don't know the credentials, wait, is anyone clear that? So now, because we don't know the credentials, we can't really log into anyone, but we can register someone. And usually GitLab doesn't really keep its private. It doesn't. It forces you to change the default passwords, so you have to change them. So let's register someone. So I'm just gonna just and let's just type in a dummy email like. Copy paste it and the password. Yeah. Is not it. And we see that there it's basically saying error 1 prohibited this user from being sent. Email domain is not authorized for sign up. So probably this is filtering the emails. So let's just probably just say laboratory. Oops. Laboratory HTB and this and the password. So now we publicly stuff, and it says that we have successfully signed in. So we see that we have no projects, and usually what we want to do here is like try to find the version of this. So we can probably go down here and try help, because help probably has a version. And we see that we get the exact version link. So GitLab Community Edition 12.8.1, which is actually pretty outdated. So we can just basically search up GitLab GitLab 12.8.1 exploit, and we see we have from Rapid7 Metasploit, and there's some other stuff. You can do the Rapid7 one, but I just want to do this .py hacks, because this is a really cool one. And we see that the GitLab RCE remote code execution. This is an exploit of old GitLab versions. Okay. And we see the credits, live overflow, I think these, and VAX. So if we go into this HackerOne link, this is actually the original report, arbitrary file read by VAX. So when I first did laboratory, I had to manually like do everything like manually exploit it, like putting this, running GitLab server, running this, and it's pretty tricky because you do lots of stuff and it's really hard. But then later, maybe this .py hacks came, or was it before? So we can just clone this. So we don't need that. We can git clone, so we make the exploit cd exploit git clone. And you can cd into GitLab RCE, and let's just take a look at what this is doing real quick. So we see that it's importing all of this stuff, and looks like this is just making the GitLab URL, and we see this email domain, gmail.hackthebox. So basically, this is created by someone who plays Hack the Box, but that is restricted and cannot be, like, it's restricted. So we have to change to Laboratory Hack the Box, and it even says in ICR, change this if the GitLab has restricted email domains. And this looks like where it's going to create the user. And this is probably where it's going to create the projects. And this is probably the payload. So we can run it. So if we do Python 3 GitLab, okay, so we see the usage is, we put the GitLab address, so it's going to be HTTPS and get.laboratory.htb, and make sure you put the HTTPS, or then it won't work. HTTP. And then the local IP, put your IP address. So if I do config 0, mine is 10.10.14.3, and it's running the exploit, so it's just, and we have we can choose from the exploit, so we can do Ruby reverse. So we can also do LFI, but we can do LFI, I think so. So we can go 1. So it's saying start a listener, but we don't really need to, so we can just enter. So the full qualified path of the file you want to, so let's just use etc password. So it's registering the user, creating a project, and we see that we get the etc password, so that means that we have LFI. But what we really want to do is actually get a reversal, Ruby reversal, which is pretty hard. So it's saying start a listener on port 4906. So I'm gonna use netcat because PwnCat doesn't really do well with Ruby reversals. And we're listening. So now we can press enter, and probably it's gonna execute, and we're probably gonna get a reversal. So we must have got a reversal, and we see that we've got the reversal. If I do ID or get pwd, so in that, if I do ls, looks like we don't have anything. So now we're gonna try to upgrade our shell. As long as now we can't see anything, so we can go into rev shell. Yeah. Cheat sheet. Rev shell cheat sheet. And we're going to be using the Python one. So here I'll just create a new file, dump this in it. I'm going to be using Python 3. And let's just put our IP address in here. So 10.10.14.3 and 1, 2, 3, 4 is good. Fine. I'll just copy. Oh, wait, 3, and let's just put IP address again. To Control A. And we can first, let's actually just set up our listener. Oh, okay. So netcat tag nvlp 1224. So listen on that. We can paste this here. Enter, and we've probably got a shell here. Yeah, we've got bin.sh. So can I just do bash here like this? Okay, close it. Oh. This is broken. Ready? Yeah, so I broke it. And let's just change this to bash. Again. I'm not listening right. Yep. And let's enter, and we've got the bash shell. So now we have a bash shell. So ls, we have nothing. C password. And this looks to be, wait, if I just ls tag LA, and this is a Docker environment, so we need to break out of the Docker environment. Just export term equals extern. So we need to break out of that Docker environment. So to do that, we need to reset the CEO's password, Dexter. So for that, we can just search up reset GitLab Rails console password. No, just GitLab Rails run it only.
No,
I've just cut this part out because it takes pretty long.
oh, okay. So pause this now.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you will later attach this, huh?
Yeah. So now we see that GitLab Rails console has just came, so it looks like it's running. So now we need to reset the user password. So we can do that by finding the user first. So user equals user find. Here they put 1 to 3, but what we really need to do is find the number 1 user. And we see it's Dexter, so now we can reset the password. So I'm just gonna copy this and paste it. But what this is really doing is like user.password, so it's accessing the password, and we're gonna change it to secret pass. And we just need to confirm that password confirmation. So we can, and then now we can just save it. So we'll save the changes. It's done. And yep, we did it. So we can now log out of here and just sign into Dexter's account. So Dexter and secret pass. And we see that we get into his account. So we see there's two websites, Dexter McPherson, secure website. So this could be the website that was running on their website. So we can check that. By using the source. And it looks like it is. So release. Yeah, it is the 100% unhackable website. So we know that there's nothing. There could be nothing there. So we can go back to his main and see that. So this is private. So this could have some confidential data. And it says confidential, secure Docker configuration for home server. Also some personal stuff. I'll figure out that later. So there's this current gitlab.sh, and I think this is basically a script which runs Docker. Yeah, this is a script which runs Docker and makes a GitLab, and we can go to Dexter to see if there's any stuff, and we see that there's a .ssh, and we see that there's a IDRSA, and it's not encrypted, so we can basically copy this and let's make it SSH CD SSH Subble Dexter RSA. So and paste that, and make sure you have an extra line at the end. Did I just? And now we have to chmod 600 dex.idrsa, and we can just sh tag our dex.idrsa dexter at laboratory, and that should log us in. So we have the user.txt. But now we have to try figure out how to do how to enumerate and stuff. So we can first maybe run linp. So we can go to cd-shn. There's nothing in here. I think we can leave this now. We can make it cd copy from opt privesc linps and this.sh to here, and let's tag LA is executable. Okay. So now we can just do updog. Updog is kind of similar to like Python, a simple HTTP website, but it's far more better. So updog, and it's serving our directory. I'll just show you because it's looks way more better. So I can go into localhost, and it's basically really nice, and we can upload a file just from the UI. So it looks really good. But now we need to wget, is it wget? Yep. Wget curls 10.10.14.22 linps.sh, and we can dash linps.sh, and we see that it's doing its enumeration. but we can do our own enumeration. So let's just tag x to at laboratory. We can do our own enumeration and wait until the piece is finished. So we can just try to find SUID normally. So I'm just trying to figure out the syntax. So find slash type, and this basically as a type and perm to plus s, so an SUID bit, tag ls, and we're gonna put this into dev null, all the output to dev null, and we're gonna grep for grep for snap, and we see that it got nothing, but it should have actually. So did I get the syntax wrong? Something. So we got the syntax wrong. SUID check for previous. So here we might find the SUID bit, which is weird. And we see that this is one which says readable, owned by us, Dexter, and it's user local bin Docker security. So this seems like this is like probably a Docker command, but this is actually not. So we can actually copy this like that. We can like execute this, and we see it does nothing. So let's try to do ltrace, and ltrace is something which I learned from this box. So I think it's ltrace, and it basically like traces what it does. And we say, when we see it's try to set the UID to 0 and set GID to 0, which actually makes us root. And it chmod 700 user bin Docker, but then it gets permissioned or not operated, and 600 on Docker sock, so it's not operated. So this is basically kind of like what it is called again. So this is like path hijacking, and we see that we can hijack the path, so we can set like our own chmod. So we can make our own chmod to be like something malicious, and we can change our path. So we can like, if I do echo path, we see these paths. So whenever it executes command, it looks in these like folders to see if the command is in there, and we can set our like maybe dev shm. We can set our path to be first, and it could be like chmod and something malicious. So we can probably like echo bin bash into chmod and make chmod executable, and we can export path dev shm to path, and then we can just run docker security, and then we will have root. So echo, we can echo bin bash, and this would, and we're gonna put this in chmod. So if we cap say chmod, it's bin bash, and now we can just do chmod plus x chmod. This would make it executable, and we can export path equals to dev shm, and then the rest of the path. So now if we echo path, we see that our dev shm isn't first. So when it says the command chmod, we'll first look in dev.shm and then look in these. But because it already finds it, chmod, it will execute that, and then it will be stuck at executing that because bash it stopped. Only if you control X, C, it will stop. So now we can just run docker security, and we see that now we're root. So if we do id, we're root. Well, I'm out of root, so we can just cd to root, and we can and we can get the root.txt. So I hope you guys as I said, this is a pretty it's like medium-ish box, and it's even harder if you do it by yourself, because this is it includes like the path hijacking, which is kind of rare to find in CTFs. And this is a really fun box because it has like lots of other, you can practice so much stuff from here. So I hope you guys like my video, and see you guys next time. Peace.